Pokémon is full of fun and cuteness and horror. Now, if you played the Pokémon games, you may have noticed they usually have at least one creepy scene or story in each game. In Red and Green, we had the famous Lavender Town, the town with the creepy background sound, and the Pokémon Tower, aka where all the Pokémon graveyards are. You meet the rival in the Pokémon Tower, but why was he there? And why does his Raticate never appear from here anymore? Did his Raticate pass away? But what's more weirder, why the hell does he just go, let's battle after this? Take your chance! But this psycho gave me an idea, so why not dive into the creepy, weird, and scary side of Pokemon? And it's Halloween right now, so it's perfect. After looking into so many Pokemon rumors, I had found 7 that made me need to dry my pants. Now, I will warn you, some of these are quite creepy and may sound a little disturbing, but again, most of these are rumors and probably are just coincidences. But unlike me, get your nappies ready. Here are 7 Pokemon rumors that actually are crazy, creeped, or weirded me out. Jirachi, the Pokemon that featured in the Pokemon movie Jirachi Wishmaker from 2003. The Pokemon that awakens for 7 days, once in every 1,000 years. Jirachi is a Pokemon inspired by the Japanese Tanabata Festival, also known as the Star Festival, celebrated on the 7th of July, 7/7. And usually you write a wish on a piece of paper to make it come true. Hence the little pieces of paper you see on Jirachi and its star head. So far, Jirachi sounds lovely. So what's this rumor about Jirachi's curse? The voice of Jirachi, Suzuki Tomiko-san, before the movie's release, passed away due to a heart attack, aged only 47. The date she passed away was on the 7th of July. It's really sad, but due to this coincidence, it led to speculation that it might be Jirachi's curse, or due to one of Jirachi's signature moves, Doom's Desire. Suzuki Tomiko-san was an amazing voice actress. Her works were included in numerous famous anime, including the Dragon Ball series, Fist of the North Star, Captain Tsubasa, and many more. It's already been some time, but still in our Pokemon hearts. May she rest in peace. Azelf, Mesprit, Yuxi, and the Olm Court. We all know Azelf, Mesprit, and Yuxi are the trio legendary Pokemons that appear in Diamond and Pearl. But how could they be related to a cult? If you take the first letters of the Pokemon, you have A-M-U, which can be used to spell A-U-M, which led to the rumor that these 3 Pokemon are related to the Aomu Shinrikyo, a Japanese doomsday cult. But what is the Aomu Shinrikyo? Aomu Shinrikyo is an infamous cult that caused multiple crimes in the 1980s and 90s. It was responsible for the murder of a lawyer, Sakamoto Tsutsumi-san, and his family, who was threatening a lawsuit against the cult, and the Tokyo subway sarin attack in 1995, the world's first massive terrorist attack using nerve gas. It involved the use of sarin, a nerve agent, which is one of the most toxic of the known chemical warfare agents. In the attack, over 6,000 were injured and 14 were killed. But I know, you can't really say these Pokemon are connected just because of the first letters in their name, but there is one more element that made this a rumor. In the Canalave City Library, there is a book that's about the horrific myths about the 3 Lake Guardians. It reads, "Look not into the Pokemon's eyes. In but an instant, you'll have no recollection of who you are. Return home, but how? When there is nothing to remember. Dare not touch the Pokemon's body. In but 3 short days, all emotions will drain away. Above all, harm not the Pokemon. In a scant 7 days, the offender will grow immobile in entirety." If you then relate these with Aomu Shinrikyo and the Tokyo subway sarin attack, Azelf is talking about the effects of sarin, how you become unable to move. Yuxi and Mesprit represents what happens when you join the Aomu cult. Mesprit related to the cult's mind control, and Yuxi with how you lose yourself. This one is a little far-fetched, but if it did have any truth behind it, that's quite creepy. Darkrai. Even the name of this Pokemon sounds a bit dark. Usually Pokemon are designed by, well, Pokemon. But it's said that the idea for Darkrai came from a boy in the USA that loved Pokemon. However, the boy had passed away. It is said that before the boy passed away, he drew a picture of a Pokemon which was Darkrai. He had trouble sleeping due to constant bad dreams. In a diary entry before the boy's passing, he also wrote,
"I had a nightmare where I was with Pokemon in a strange world covered in darkness."
It's like he was literally describing Darkrai. Darkrai has the ability Bad Dream, but in Japanese it is literally called Nightmare. It is also said that the boy was actually implemented into the game. In Canalave City, there is a boy which talks in his sleep, saying, Dark is watching me. Alright, quick rumor time from all this craziness. Let's talk about the little creepy rumor about Rotom. Rotom is the Pokemon that can go into electronics. Rotom backwards is motor. So the rumor says if you hear Rotom's cry in slow motion, you can hear it say Tasukete, which in Japanese means help. I heard that it's 50-50 if you can hear it or not. This is Rotom's cry in slow motion. Apparently the trick is that you have to focus more on the deep pitch sound that you hear at the back rather than the main light pitch sound you hear from the beginning. If you didn't hear it, great. Like me, this was like nothing and you got a little break. If you did hear it, well, you know, you're cursed and you're so Anyway, let's carry on. Parasect, a sad destiny. When you look at Parasect, have you ever stopped to notice that the insect at the bottom you thought was raising is already dead? They say the mushroom on top is the actual Pokemon and not the insect itself. Even the Pokemon is classed as a mushroom Pokemon. When we look into the name Parasect, para represents parasite and sect equals insect. The mushroom is a parasite that is taking control of the insect's body. When you look closely, before it evolves as a paras, the mushrooms on its back are small and its eyes still look cute and lively. But when it evolves, the eyes have no pupils and looks kind of dead. The insect at this stage is a mere puppet. There is an actual mushroom which is said to be the model of the mushroom on Parasect, called Torture Castle, which also can affect the behavior of its host and absorbs its nutrients. But this is Pokemon, it can't be that lucky as it can. If we look at the Pokedex entry for Parasect, in Pokemon Yellow it states, the bug host is drained of energy by the mushroom on its back. They appear to do all the thinking, and when that wasn't enough for Paras, it literally says, a Paras has parasitic Torture Castle mushrooms growing on its back. They grow by drawing nutrients from the host. They are valued as a medicine for long life. Well, yeah, not for the insect. Holy Picado! So remember, the next time you want your Paras to evolve, you're basically telling it to give itself up to the parasite. The Sun and Moon Special Demo. Creepy Fairy Girl. In the Sun and Moon Special Demo Edition, they would have these events where once completed, you could get an item that could be actually transferred into the actual game. In one of the events at the ferry terminal, you meet a nervous girl. When you talk to her, she says, I have to sail away on a ship today. I'm afraid of boats though, so I'm a bit nervous. I hope you'll see me off on my journey. So as a kind protagonist who rebels against the quote, don't talk to strangers, you answer, of course. Then she replies, I'm so happy. Thank you. Then as a thank you, she gives you a comet shard. At the end, she goes, at last, I can see my mum and dad again. Goodbye. And then she walks off to the ferry to see her mum and dad. Or did she? We see her walking towards the gate, but as a Machamp passes by, she is gone. Oh yeah, she might just have gone through, but you can see the way to the ferry is on the right, but we never see her go to the right. She just disappears. It could have maybe been that the Machamp took her away, which is another issue to be honest, having a 4-arm muscle man with wombats take a nervous girl, or maybe the Pokemon programmers were just lazy. Now most people that played this remember this event, but didn't find it probably scary, right? But what many people didn't realize is, when you talk to the person at the reception, she says, the ship is still in the middle of construction and is still unavailable. This one is probably not the scariest, but probably the craziest. This one deserves a video itself, and I am planning to have a video solely on this theory, but I will go through it briefly in here too, because it did change my innocent Pokemon brain forever. Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. The 3 Regis that appear in Sapphire and Ruby, which is set in the Hoenn region. The Hoenn region is inspired by the Kyushu region of Japan. If you rotate the Hoenn region, you can see the similarities. When you look at the location of the 3 in the game and compare them to its location in Kyushu, Regirock is located in Oita, Regice in Nagasaki, Registeel in Miyazaki. But what do all these places have in common? Those 3 places are the areas that were affected most by the Pacific War. In Oita and Miyazaki, there were major air raids. In Nagasaki, there was the atomic bomb. Even when you compare Regigigas' location in the Sinnoh region in Diamond Pearl, the Sinnoh region is inspired by Hokkaido. If you compare the location of Regigigas to the location in Hokkaido, there is a memorial for the soldiers that sacrificed themselves. To get the Regis in Sapphire and Ruby, you have to go to a place called the Sealed Chamber. In the Sealed Chamber, there is a message written in Braille. When you translate the Japanese meaning to English, it states, "In this hole, we have lived and survived." They say the hole is representing the air raid shelters which they had to live in to survive. And then it goes, "We sealed the powerful Pokemon away, alone in the dark. We feared it," which could be representing how we feel about nuclear weapons and how we fear it. Regarding the 3 Regis, if we look at the moves they learn, they all learn Explosion at level 1. They all learn the move Lock-On, and at level 89, they learn the move Hyper Beam, which in Japanese is Hakai Kosen. Hakai means destruction, and Kosen means beams. I ruined the immersion. It means beam, destruction beam. And level 89 could be referring to the date of the Nagasaki bombing, which happened on August 9th. Now, of course, this is only a rumor after all, so you can only speculate, but there's much more that suggests the connection between the Regis and the war victims. Like how the Regis footprints look like when you see a bomb dropping and then exploding, how all the 3 Regis learn ancient power, which in Japanese is Genshi no Chikara, but this can also mean, when rewritten in kanji, nuclear power. Theory or not, it's pretty crazy, but believe it or not, that is up to you. The old chateau exists in real life? Holy smokes, man. Okay, we are on the last one. Now, when it comes to Pokemon and horror, the old chateau is arguably the most famous. We all know it's the scary abandoned manor house in the Eternal Forest, where we see the old man and girl ghost. But did you know the old chateau might be inspired by a real abandoned building? As mentioned, the Sinnoh region is inspired by Hokkaido in Japan. If you compare the location of the old chateau to its location in Hokkaido, it leads you to Asahikawa. In the forest in Asahikawa, there is an abandoned building, which is known as the Shosenyu. Formerly, this used to be a hostel, but after it being abandoned, it's said that people who have visited it have seen ghosts appear. For this reason, the building is also called the Coffin Building. Looking at this and the shape of the building, you can see why it was rumored that this building was what inspired the old chateau. There's even other similarities, including how both are in the forest and how in real life the grass grows so long that you have to cut through to even get near the building. Just like how you have to use cut to get to the old chateau in the game. But these are not what makes this truly creepy. It is also said there was a murder when it was still a hostel. One of the workers poisoned the rest of the workers and then proceeded to also hang himself. And when you look back at the old chateau in the game, when you follow the direction of the old man ghost, it leads you to this bin. Inside the bin, but that was all the rumors that creeped, scared, or weirded me out the most. Now, there's a lot more rumors out there. Some I didn't include because I don't have any more pants left to look into them. But anyway, that is it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like and subscribe. That'd be so appreciated. But most of all, thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you in the next video.